Hi everyone, so my name is Egle and it says I'm an engagement lead for VerifyLocal. I'm also one of the product managers for parking permit pilots and I represent government digital service here. So today I'm going to talk to you about what's VerifyLocal, what we're delivering, how we're delivering, and at the end of my 15-minute presentation I'll give you a demo of one of our prototypes that we delivered collaboratively with local authorities. So VerifyLocal, our story so far. So for those of you who don't know what Gov UK Verify is, it's a new way to prove who you are online. It means like if your council needs to know what's your address or that you are who you claim to be, you don't need to send in any documents. You don't need to come in for a face-to-face appointment. You can just go online, log in, answer some questions, do some other magical stuff, and your council will know all these things. So up until recently, Verify has been available for central gov departments and their services. And us coming into GDS, we thought, do you know what? It's not enough. We should be making this wonderful new service available for local government as well, simply because they've been contacting GDS for a long time saying, when will we be able to adopt this? So our team came along and we said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll make sure that users have a single secure way to access all public services, central, local, and at some point, maybe even public sector. So who are we working with? We have two pilots, one for parking permits, one for concessionary bus passes, and currently we're working with 7 local authorities. 2 of them are taking part in both pilots. They're that keen. And from GDS, we're not only saying, oh, here's Gov UK Verify, you can use this. We've been talking internally with other platforms. So Gov UK Notify, sorry. They're now available for our pilot participants who want to adopt this to be using it as part of this wonderful new redesigned service as well. So how we're delivering, how exactly are we working? First of all, this is the first time that GDS had the chance to help local authorities to transform their services in this way, the way how we transform services. And we want to be working with Local Gov, and we are helping them, and they're helping us as well. So we're doing this, we're developing Verify to best meet local needs. So Verify is a new product. We've never worked with local before like this. So we have a process that works for central gov departments. But now that we're introducing it to local gov as well, we're having to redesign the whole onboarding process. And this is what our pilot is helping us to do, so that the next local authorities that want to come on board, they'll already have a much more streamlined, much more standardized process that's easy to get on board with. And the way we decided to approach this was we weren't going to set a policy right up front and say, well, you have to do this and we have to do that. We said, you know what, we're going to start with user needs and we'll see where it gets us, because this is the most important thing. We're making sure that we're meeting user needs, so council needs as well, and also their end user needs. And we're just using pilots to improve and learn as we go along. So also when it came to selecting our pilots, we did not just decide, oh, this is the service we're going to do because this is the service we want to do. We sent out a broad consultation to local councils saying, tell us, what are your services that have like most common pain points? Where do you see most potential for transformation? Do you think that this can be done quickly, or do you think this will take like 5 years to transform? And once we've done the consultation, we narrowed down to those 2 services. So how did we end up with these 2? Not only did we do the consultation, we also looked at over 100 local council services. We did a lot of analysis, looked at what's highest volume, what we can actually deliver and transform with Verify quite easily. And we ended up with these 2, older people's concessionary permits and also residential parking permits. So we kicked off in October. These pilots allow us to demonstrate live working services rather quickly and also help us to develop Verify to meet local needs. So we're pioneering a new way how councils can transform together. So what we're doing is we're working very much collaboratively. We thought, well, there are hundreds of councils who are delivering similar services. So why not make sure that we standardize this, we collaborate together, we identify what actually has to happen in the user journey, what must happen, and what some of the steps in the user journey are just legacy things that come from policies that were written decades ago. And this is what we're doing. We're making sure that the user journey is as straightforward as possible, and users aren't asked what they should not be asked. This is one of the examples how collaborative we are. So we have lots of events where we bring council together, we bring experts from GDS, we upskill people, and we work together to actually resolve problems that we're all facing. We're also very much open and very agile. So everything that we do goes on local digital coalition sites for anyone to see, to read about our projects. We also have a Trello board that is public for everyone to see. If people are curious what we're doing, how we're doing things, it's open for anyone who wants to have a look. And about a pilot project. So it's not just that we're transforming services. We also want to build other additional things that could help councils just in the future on board with us, or just transform their own service, their own parking permit service or concessionary bus pass service. So one of those things is a business case. So if you think, oh, we should be transforming Verify, well, you can go have a look and see the kind of benefits you can deliver. Another thing is technical patterns, onboarding patterns. So it's to see how Verify can interact with your systems. This is one of the examples. Also, performance dashboards. Every single council that goes live with us, they will be able to track their own progress. And we agreed some KPIs with them initially to see what exactly do they want to be measuring. And they'll be able to track their performance using a platform that we built for them. And one of the more important things, we have our service pattern, one for each service, that shows the best practice amongst councils for delivering that particular service. And for each pattern, we have a prototype that complements it and shows how it can actually look in practice. And once again, the prototype is something that is on local digital coalition sites, and anyone can go play around with this, try it, see how it works in practice. Before we started building anything, we thought, well, we have this opportunity to work with people who are very excited, they're very talented, they deeply care about their users. And we thought, well, what can we do to help them to actually transform the service the way that it meets their user needs best, in the best way possible? And we came up with this concept of user research toolkit. So we provided some coaching and support. We brought in some of user researchers from GDS, and we did a few days of training, coaching support, to make sure that they know how to talk to the users, how to ask those open questions, how not to lead to the desired answers that they want to hear. Also, collaboration. So we also brought them all together in one room, learning from each other. We provided templates. So what kind of questionnaires to use? Do you need them to sign a disclaimer? How to record findings to make sure that you don't breach any sort of data protection laws or anything like that? So what we ended up, to date, we carried out collaboratively over 150 interviews. We produced 2 high-level user journey maps, and the journey maps are also on the same website. They show what are the main steps in the user journey, what kind of need we're trying to meet at each step, what is the user feeling as they go along through the user journey. And we use this to produce our prototypes and patterns. So in Alpha, we actually just finished Alpha, and we're looking to iterate this to make sure that we update it with what we found to date, with what exactly we're struggling with, and what exactly we're resolving with our patterns and prototypes. So service design patterns. As I said, they outline the common best practice across councils for delivering these services, and they make it easier for councils to deliver excellent services, but also for us, any council wanting to onboard after the Wave 1 pilots. It makes us more certain that, do you know what? If you want to adopt this service pattern, and if you think that the prototype looks good, and you want to follow it, it means that this user journey has been tested with most users, we have confidence in it, and therefore we can more easily onboard you to Verify. So the way that patterns work, I'm sure most of you will know the structure, but it starts off with the user need for the service. Then we explain what exactly councils need from the user to deliver that service. And also, the third part is the user journey. From awareness, from realizing that, oh gosh, I need a parking permit, or do you know what, I think I'm qualifying for a concessionary bus pass, to conclusion to actually getting that thing in your hands that you can use. So yeah, as I said, patterns have been delivered collaboratively with our local authority with our local authority partners. And also, we're continuously iterating each of the products. So the way it works, we iterate the prototype, councils test it, we test it, and we get together, we analyze the findings, we see, do you know what, this bit is still not working, and we do it all over again. So local authorities they've localized the prototype. So what they're testing with their users, it actually looks like their websites. So their users, when they go and test with them, they think like, oh yeah, this is an actual service. And even though we explain to them like, this is not live yet, they think that, oh yeah, this could work for me. If I was living in my borough, if I was to apply for this service, I know that this is what it can look like. So do you like it? Do I not? How do you feedback? So showing the thing, I promised I would show you the prototype. And this is the concessionary bus pass prototype. I'll start at the beginning.
Bigger. Zoom in.
OK. So older person's bus passes, this is not an easy demographic to shift online, because in order to be eligible for it, you should have reached your female state pension age. So as you can imagine, there are people who might not want to be using it, might not be used to using it. So there are associated challenges with it. However, what we've been testing, and I think we almost managed to crack it, and this is obviously not the final version. We're still iterating, we're still improving it. But so far, we had, during our last user research day, everyone managed to get through, and everyone pretty much liked it. So the way it looks, the first page is check if you can apply. It's not very straightforward to know that you're eligible for it. In some councils, you can just apply a few months before you're eligible. In others, you can't. So there is a tool that on Gov UK that you can go and check if you're eligible. So we have a link. So for those people who aren't sure, they can go and check. Second bit is using your pass. So we tell them, do you know what? This is how you can use your pass, where you can use it, Saturdays, Sundays, bank holidays, whatnot. And finally, how to apply. So we tell them up front what will be needed, so people aren't too daunted by things. Previously, we did not have this section, and people would get to the picture upload bits, and they would get like, hold on, I don't have a picture. I don't know why. I would have called. I would not even have started the process had they known I was going to have to do all of this. So we put together how to apply. We explained what's going to happen. Really short, simple words. And yeah, it really does the job. And finally, big green button that says apply for an older person's bus pass. And underneath also some other use cases, so replace or renew or anything. So if you're not a first-time applicant. So the second bit is checking the identity, knowing that the user is who they are, and also knowing about their date of birth. So one of the options that we have for them is using Gov UK Verify. So we explain, you'll need to answer some security questions online. To create an account, it takes like 5 minutes or so, and to complete the application, about 2 minutes. Or if you don't want to do this, you always have other options. So one of the rules for councils wanting to adopt Verify is you have to have another way for the user to access the service. This can't be like the single point of failure. If your online services go off or something like that, you have to have offline channels or something like that. So another way to do this, you can still do this online, provide proof of identity, scan, upload, whatnot, and you have other ways to apply as well. So let's assume that the user chooses to go and use Gov UK Verify. We tell them, this is the information we'll get from Verify. Can we use this? So this is very important about having users consent for sharing their data. So yes. And there we go. We end up at GovUK Verify sites. To make this a bit shorter, I'll show you a user journey for when a user has used Verify before. And we had actually, surprisingly enough, a few users like that when we were user testing. And they were very happy to see this page saying, oh, hold on, I've seen this before. We used it. I checked my state pension. So yeah, next page is choosing the identity provider. Who did you create your account with? Let's say it's Barclays. The user journey would be very similar for anyone, any identity provider that they choose. So all they have to do is type in their username, password, click continue. They get a number, confirmation number to their phone, enter that, click continue. The council processes their details, gets their date of birth. So here we go. It says we received this information from GovUK Verify. Is this correct? Is this your date of birth? This allows councils to actually calculate how old the person is. So even if they did not use the tool at the beginning where it says, well, check if you're eligible, the checks are being done. And it says, is this your address? User clicks yes. So that's all done. The next bit, getting the photo. During our user research, we realized that this is where most people were getting stuck, because they did not know how to get the picture into the computer. They were saying, well, can I send this to the council? Can I just go ahead and like send it or bring it in person? And we're like, well, no. Ideally, you would not have to do this. You're doing this online, so why take the journey offline? We came up with this solution. We asked the users, do you have a webcam? And if you do, and most users do, some of them are actually iPad users, etc. So this works for any device. If you click no, you can upload a digital photo, or you can also take the journey offline. But for most users that we tested with, they said yes. We open a camera where they can actually have a look, have a wait, and take a photo. The way we developed this tool, it shows how the picture develops. So for the user, it also says, oh, it actually took the picture. It looks like a normal, usual thing that they're used to seeing. So last time we tested, we realized that users no longer were really concerned, like, how do I get the picture into the computer? Now they were concerned, like, hold on, I don't look as nice as I should. This picture is going to go on my past, and I'm going to have to use it for the next 5 years. And I think this is like a very good thing to be concerned about as compared to what we were seeing previously. So they can still take a new picture if they don't like the first one, or they can go and say, do you know what, use this photo. And then we process the photo. Of course, in the previous page, we also had some guidance saying, do you know what, try to make sure that we can see your face, shoulders, there's a plain background behind you. But worst case scenario, councils accept photos that don't even meet all the criteria. They can crop the picture as well. So it's not really a concern that user takes a passport-sized photo or something like that. It's a matter of them getting the picture taken. And something also to note about photos, we looked at the service pattern that is on the service manual, GovUK, and we adopted some of the elements there. Of course, that was built for passport photos and the like, so we had to amend things like that. But as we build these prototypes, we try to make sure that, what's been done, where there are patterns there, we're using these things. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. So photo received, we're saying, good, it passed our automatic checks. We'll also manually check the photo, and we'll contact you if there are any problems with it. Now about contacting the users. Once again, we're giving user the choice. How do you want to actually receive these messages, the confirmation message, let's say reference number, etc. So you can choose email, or you can choose text message, or you can choose both. It's entirely up to the user. And also a renewal reminder. So excuse me. The pass is for about 5 years. So do you know what? Your email may have changed, your text message may have changed. So if you want to register, you can also get a reminder by post. Enter the details, click next, and your application is complete. We give them the reference number just in case they want to call up and talk to someone to make sure that the application went through. We also explain what's going to happen next. We tell them when you will receive your pass, so within 5 working days, where we're going to send it to your address, how to use it, just another reminder, where can you use the pass and when, and also your GovUK Verify account. So user has a Verify account or has just registered, and we give them a reminder where you can reuse this. And this is what our patterns look like. Of course, we're still iterating this, and once councils go live as well, they'll keep on doing user testing, and we will be making sure that we improve the products. And I think it might even be a never-ending thing, but it's already good enough, so we can start actually rebuilding it in council systems, and it can start pushing it out to their users and just making sure that they get the best experience possible. So let me see. Ooh. So we're not actually quite there yet. We've just finished alpha. We sort of got into beta. We're starting things. So beta means councils are starting to build some of the application pages, some of these things. And as I said, if you're still curious to play around with this prototype, the other user journey where you register, or if you want to have a look at the parking permit prototype, it's all on the local digital coalition site. We also tweet a lot, #VerifyLocal. And also, you can read some of our blogs on GovUK Verify. Thanks.